will be kicked off by our very own little financial hardship program. I say little, we're quite massive, but we're great, brilliant team. And if you have any questions or want to introduce yourself, talk about what you guys do, pop the information in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer any questions as we go. So what exactly is Relay Week? What can you expect? ReferKent, as you know, many of you will know, it's an online referral system that aims to mitigate the action of signposting. So back in the pandemic, which feels really long ago now, but also really soon, it was realised that people were being signposted, but they didn't want to have to keep repeating their stories again and again to people that they didn't know. So that meant that they weren't always getting the help that they needed. This also meant that professionals signposting them weren't always sure if their clients were receiving support. So ReferKent was developed and it aims to make referral simple, safe and secure between a network of organisations that are on board the system. At first, the organisations that we were targeting were focused on financial hardship, but this has grown massively and it's accommodated so many different types of services and advice. We've now got over 300 organisations on board, covering over 20 categories across Kent and Medway. So this was launched in 2022, and like I say, the network's grown massively. So we'd want to spend this week doing three main things: highlighting some of the partners on board, who I'll show you throughout the week what they'll be up to, increasing the knowledge and referrals on the platform, so that way we can ensure, at the very goal, that residents are getting the support that they need. Just want to include here as well, like a little bit of a sneak peek inside and look about what ReferKent actually looks like. So Dover Counselling Centre, Disability Assist, you're shown here, but you can see here the kind of description of what these people are up to, the category of support, and you can make a referral and people can accept, and then they can see what they can do to support. You can see how simple and easy that is here. And just a quick overview of what the kind of things we do outside of referrals and things like that. We offer quite a few different activities. As you can see, there's quite a few things that we're up to. So we offer regular training support, which are monthly sessions for new users. We do on-demand sessions, password resets, things like that. We have a bi-monthly networking session, which is a drop-in. Anyone can come along, or any professional that can come along, speak with other professionals about projects that can be referred to. We have newsletters, which is now going out to every other month, which has information on projects, updates, other information about Kent and what kind of projects can be referred to, as well as dedicated sections to our own financial hardship programme. Next, and we also have once or twice monthly, quite regularly, sessions, I think booked up all the way to January maybe, of spotlight sessions, which do similar to what we're doing here and Relay Week, highlights the organisations on ReferKent, what the work that they do and why we should refer to them. I've also included a link here, which I'll send after I stop sharing my screen, just to our YouTube page and our LinkedIn page. And if you want to be part of any of this information, any of this stuff, please feel free to just pop it in the chat and we can send you over a link to sign up. A lot of these are accessible to anybody, so any professional. So you can, even if you don't feel you're not necessarily going to be accepting or making referrals, you can still access our newsletter. You can still come along to our networking forum. So if you want to have access to any of that, please let me know. Perfect. So I just want to show here as well, which I'll show at the end of this little session, just a bit of an agenda of what we're planning for this week, a bit of an overview. So like I say, to kick off our Relay Week, we have our Financial Hardship Programme. In just a moment, I'll be handing off to one of the team who'll be talking about their work stream, and then they'll pass it on to the next person. Between each of those, we have a section for Q&As and things like that if we need to. I won't read through everything we have planned because you guys can all see. But if you would like to see any of the, you can kind of see the range of organisations presenting this week. A lot of these partners, all of these partners actually do invaluable work for residents across Kent, as do a lot of you. So if you have the time, please feel free to attend any of these sessions. And I look forward to seeing you all there. Good. Has anyone got any questions regarding any things I've said so far regarding ReferKent or anything else before I pass on to our next person?
Yeah, can I just ask a quick question? you're recording this one. Will they all be recorded and we can access them if we can't actually make them?
Yeah, no, we are planning to record many of them. If they can't, we will be sending any information that we can. But this session will be recorded, so you can access this at a later point.
Right, okay. So the other ones will be the same.
Yeah, as many as we can, definitely. Perfect. Thank you. Any other questions? I haven't seen anything in the chat. Just double check. But okay, I'll be passing over to, if that's okay for Simon, if you're okay to start.
Thanks, Sharon.
Perfect. Hopefully that's come through for you.
Perfect. You can shoot straight through to the next slide. That'd be great. So I'm going to talk very quickly about Healthy Start. So I and you may have met Joe, Lucy, who's moved on to another team for us to comment. Have been working on Healthy Start, and we're trying to increase uptake of this scheme. I'm sure many of you know about Healthy Start, but just in case you don't know, it used to be a paper-based scheme, so you'd have paper vouchers. It was digitalised in March 2022, where they moved to a card that looks very much like the one on the little hand there, which is a prepaid MasterCard, where they credit the sums of money in the table there, which is £4.25 from 10 weeks of into pregnancy to birth, to £8.50 from birth to the child's first birthday, and then back to £4.25 from the first birthday to the fourth birthday, and that's per child, to support with buying fruit, veg, formula, cow's milk. It's a national scheme, so there is the two elements to it. There is the funds for buying the fruit and veg and milk. There is also Healthy Start vitamins, which are distributed by KCC. We post those out every 8 weeks. To register for those, you have to be part of the Healthy Start scheme. So first have registered and got your card, and then there's a online form, and you can actually register and then have a recurring delivery, so you don't have to do it every 8 weeks. So it's a bit different to how it used to be, where you'd have to go to the children's centre or now Family Hub to go and get the vitamins. They're now posted out, and that's posted out for the mother who's entitled to them during the pregnancy in the first year, and then the child from birth until they turn 4. I think we can go on to the next slide. That'd be great. So I've talked a bit about eligibility. Essentially, eligibility is based on benefits that people are receiving, whether it's universal credit or child tax credits. There are still some legacy benefits that might allow people to be eligible, but obviously those are disappearing. The other group that are eligible, or groups who are eligible, are pregnant women who are under the age of 18, because they may not be receiving any benefits, and so they are eligible without any other requirements. And then those families, so Ukrainian families who have moved and settled here during the conflict, and also other families who maybe don't have no recourse to public funds, but have a child who's British, can claim Healthy Start as well. And essentially the criteria are the same, with the exception of the Ukrainian families who had greater eligibility. I think next slide, please. So we've done quite a range of different things to promote Healthy Start. I'll whiz around the page quickly, but we've got various promotional communications. So that's the little leaflet on the top left for me. We've got Healthy Start Champions training. So I was just looking at this morning, and we've had 1,419 views so far of our Healthy Start training video, which is on YouTube, so everyone can access it. Or if you're a KCC person that has access to Delta Learning, it's also available through there. And once you've watched a video, it's less than 10 minutes to give you the core basics of what you need, and you can always pause as you're going through if you need a bit more time. There is a quiz, so there's a link at the end for going and doing that quiz. That checks your learning, but also allows us to collect a bit of information about a bit more detail about who's accessing the training, but also you can sign up for the Healthy Start newsletter, which is, I think we've got it bi-monthly now, and we also have a certificate and a little email signature image that you can, so you're a Healthy Start champion, that you'll get sent as well if you complete that online quiz form. We've also got a Healthy Start box at the Kent Food Hubs, which is top right. So that's set so that people on the budget receiving Healthy Start with a Healthy Start card can go and purchase that from in Folkestone. So that's Folkestone area. Unfortunately, you have to go and do that because you can't purchase things online with the Healthy Start card. We've been running a number of Healthy Start food budgeting and cooking classes with our colleagues from Multiply, and that's been at the family hubs. So we've run about, I think there's about 6 of those have run so far, and so we're hoping to run some more of those in the future. We've got again information around the benefits of health vitamins, particularly aligned to the Healthy Start vitamins that people receive, and on the bottom right there you can see a screenshot of one of the Healthy Start newsletters. So one of the things we do is we get some additional data from the NHS BSA team who run Healthy Starts, and so we share that with you, and so hopefully that will help people with their analysis and looking at maybe how they can improve their Healthy Start uptake in their district, and have that information for reporting. So, and then we share best practice and thank people for doing great jobs. So we've got some really interesting things happening in different parts of the county. We share that on there. I think next slide, please, Sharon. So there's a bit of more information about the Healthy Start Champions training and a bit about what it covers, but it's all very straightforward, and really it's not about trying to make people push Healthy Starts. It's so that they have an awareness, so if they come into contact with families that they think may be eligible or who ask them about Healthy Starts, then they can share that information with them. So whether they're in a school, a food bank, a hospital, that they have that information in the back of their head. And that's something we found with the change of the scheme during COVID. Everyone had a lot going on during COVID and lots of support they were doing, so they definitely didn't keep up to date with a change in one small scheme. So this is really a way of updating people and also making them aware of some of the challenges around Healthy Starts. So that's another thing we put in the newsletter. If there are issues, like at the moment there's currently an issue with the Healthy Start data that we get, we keep you up to date about that, and as we find out more information from the various things we access and attend, we can share that with you. Next slide, please. Just 2 current promotions that are going on. So we did lots of things during HAF, the Holiday Activity Fund with the family hubs, and one of the things that's still running is there's a Healthy Start competition prize for people who are registering themselves for the Healthy Start vitamins. So they have to already be accessing Healthy Starts or get themselves registered, and then they can go follow this QR code or the link, and then they can register for Healthy Start, and then we'll just do a prize draw, and the winner will win a Ninja blender to blend up all their vegetables and milk and fruit and things and make lovely smoothies for their family. And public health colleagues also got some vouchers still remaining, so they're £25 e-vouchers to support mothers with nursing wear. So that's only available in these districts that are on the slide there, but that is an automatic process. So when they register for Healthy Start vitamins, if they put in that they live in Thanet or Dover, it will automatically pop up the additional question to say would they like a voucher, and then essentially there will be complete those questions, and then they will be sent the voucher and also get their Healthy Start vitamins. I think I'm probably running out of time, but is there any other slides? Oh yeah, I was going to quickly talk about 2 other bits of work I do. So I'm just finishing up on free school meals, but something just worth mentioning, our Universal Credit Transitional Protection, which ends in March 2025, means that anyone who registers for free school meals at the moment will remain entitled to free school meals for the remainder of their phase of education. So if they've registered in reception, they will continue to get free school meals, even if their circumstances change and they win the lottery and and everything's hunky-dory. They can still access free school meals until they get to year 6, and likewise if they're in secondary school until they get to year 11. So that can make a significant difference to the families. So they're unlikely to win the lottery, unfortunately, and also it means that the schools will continue to get pupil premium funding, which is obviously helping the children by funding different interventions, and that's ranges from £1,035 to £1,455 per year, and that lasts for at least 6 years as well. So that really it'd be great if everyone can really push that and make a big impact for the foreseeable future for those families. I think there's one more slide I've got about business workstream. So I also look after business workstream. Thanks, Sharon. So we've got a couple of projects I thought I'd quickly mention. We've got Worldly Wise. So if you're in the Dover East Kent area, Worldly Wise have got a project called Why Not You? And essentially this is connecting female students in Kent, in those areas in Kent, with STEM businesses to increase the opportunities for young women to access STEM careers and move into STEM courses. So if you search Worldly Wise, you'll find that online. We have also funded a commissioned support with social care assistive technology, but the key thing around that is there are 6 hubs that have been set up by the universities to support people who work in social care and all those sorts of areas and support, then to help them with digital skills and using digital technology that they may help them with their work. So it's definitely worth speaking to East Kent College, who are leading on that, if you're interested in accessing those hubs either through your organisation or individually. We have a project with Kent Foundation, which again is supporting young people 18 to 40 to develop their business skills and hopefully grow their passions into viable businesses. So that's all an online course and then leads into their mentoring support. And we have funded a project with Visit Kent, which has a number of elements, but one of the key bits is that they're increasing the training of tourism sector employers to understand employing disabled people and trying to then increase the number of disabled people working in the sector. So that's something well worth looking into if you're working with disabled people and you think they may be interested in that. So that's Visit Kent. And the only other one I was just going to briefly mention, especially since Chloe's here, is the digital employability experience. So that is a platform that will help people, young people to adults who are looking at different careers and maybe what they want to study. It will allow them to see what the options are available within Kent around different career options and what those involve and what working in different sectors looks like. There's also an element around improving people's digital skills for the activities included in that. I'm sure Chloe will add more to that if she thinks I've missed anything. And I think the final slide is just my contact details. So if anyone has any questions, then they can feel free to contact me and I will get back to them.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Simon. And like I say, if you wouldn't mind popping your email in the chat as well, just in case people can't access that. But brilliant. As you guys can see, there was so much going on within Simon's work stream. And if you have any questions, please feel free, or thoughts about anything that's going on, please feel free to pop your hand up or pop it in the chat. I think I can't see any hands up, Simon. I think you might have given everybody the information that they need. So thank you so much. Or they were asleep,
but thank you.
No, you're good. But perfect. I think since you mentioned Chloe, I'll hand over to Chloe if she's okay to go next.
Hello, yeah, more than happy. Yeah, it's like a good segue there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's perfect, actually.
I'll share my slides, Sharon. I don't know if you saw my message, just because I've changed a few bits, so bear with me just 1 second.
There we go. It's just come through.
Lovely. All right. Thank you for that introduction there, Simon. I can't see anyone, by the way, now, so please do shout out if there is anything. Myself and Doris are here today. Doris is on the call. She's actually in the same room as me, but she is muted. But she is on the call, so you can see her face. And we've come along today from Digital Kent, which is another part of the Financial Hardship Programme. So I am the Relationship and Skills Manager and Deputy Lead here at Digital Kent, and Doris is our Senior Engagement Officer. Hopefully, and I'm sure I've had a look through some of the names of the people on here. I think some of us may have crossed paths with different people within our team. The digital element of our team is quite big within the programme. I think we have about 20 or so of the people within the programme that work on digital inclusion work specifically, and have a huge range of projects and schemes that we are doing out with the residents to help support them with their skills, accessibility and hardware and connectivity when it comes to digital. So just going to go through a couple of our key areas and say for some of you this won't be new news, but for some of you it may be. So digital inclusion, it's about ensuring the benefits of the internet and technologies are available to everyone. I think that sums it up quite nicely. As a quote, we know that digital exclusion has always been there. It's always been an issue, but with COVID, it has heightened everything because everything suddenly went online. For some people, that was really beneficial. For others, that created barriers and challenges. And that's why part of the Financial Hardship Programme is around looking at that digital inclusion work. What we're trying to do and what we're trying to achieve with all our projects and schemes is to support either education, health, or employment outcomes through everything that we're doing. So the three main areas to our digital inclusion work stream is access, accessibility and skills, like I've already mentioned. So we have schemes that some of you I'm sure have used. Our hardware access scheme where we gift laptops to individuals. We have a connectivity scheme which isn't currently running at this moment in time, but it will be running again very shortly, where we can provide that connectivity to residents. There's no point having a laptop if you can't get onto the internet or other electrical devices. Accessibility, we have an accessibility team within KCC, but we work very closely with them to make sure that what we're delivering is accessible to the individuals and to help educate others on being accessible when they're using digital related items. And a big part of the work that we do, and we have a great team, a great engagement team that work on improving digital skills within the community. So that's done through various projects, which I will be highlighting later on down in the presentation. So our approach to all the work that we're doing, and it makes the word tech. It used to say teach, but we've changed it slightly, so it works quite nicely. Everything we're doing is to be tailored. We appreciate that everyone has different challenges, different barriers. People learn differently and people have very different life situations. So we want to make sure that everything we're doing is to be as tailored as we can possibly make it to the individual. Empowering. So, you know, sometimes people can be embarrassed and think, oh, you know, I should know how to do this and I don't know how to do this. And actually providing people that support and giving them that confidence to support what they're trying to achieve in their own personal situations empowers them to be able to take things further. Being cohesive, we have a lot of partnerships that we work with internal to KCC, so working with other directorates as well as externally, and that's supporting a lot of our skills-based projects. So yeah, we have some great partnerships that our team have built up over the last 3 years of us existing, and then being holistic. So having that over, you know, not thinking narrow-mindedly, thinking that actually something that may not be to do with digital could affect how their digital inclusion is. So maybe it's that they are not currently in employment, or maybe they've got some mental health or some health related issues that they're trying to get sorted. Things can have a knock-on effect to other parts of people's digital inclusion. So it's making sure that we are open-minded when we're working with each individual, and we take each individual situation as an individual. I've said the individual word 3 times then. So that's how we'd like to approach all the work that we're doing, is to use that acronym there. So to highlight some of our key projects that we're working on, and this is all on our website, although we are on ReferKent, and I'm sure some of you have referred into us. So this is not to try and get you all on the website. We still want you to refer directly any individuals through ReferKent. Just to highlight some of the things that we're doing is we have our digital hubs. So Doris is actually the lead for this project. We have over 40 digital hubs across the county. They're hosted primarily in libraries and ran primarily by our volunteers from our Digital Champion Network, who have half an hour bookable sessions each month that individuals can come in and bring their device in or bring in their query, and they can sit down and go through what that is. We found that in our first year, when we were out and about in the community, we helped a couple of thousand people in that first year of our projects, and over 70% of our interventions were one-to-one support. So we then utilise that information to create the digital hubs, because it's just what the community needed. So it's a very successful project. It's one of our flagship projects. and we're hoping to continue growing that. And I say Doris is leading on that and is always reviewing it and making sure that we have hubs in all the right places. So we do have them across all 12 districts and Medway, and we're hoping to continue growing that and developing that with our libraries and our digital champion network. We do also offer other digital support and skills. So having a digital champion network means that we can have individuals that maybe need ongoing support. They can be joined up with a digital champion that's most appropriate and meet them in a public space to have that support. We encourage, most people are going along to our hubs, but we appreciate not everybody can make our hubs. So we do have other forms of digital support through our champions and through our staff members that can support residents. Some of the things you'll see on the screen here are relevant to certain districts. So there are a number of projects that we deliver. So we have a Tunbridge and Moorland project, which is a combination of our sort of hardware and skills that we're trying to support the residents directly in that district. And we're working with the Tunbridge and Moorland Borough Council to deliver that. And similar with the Health at workshops that we are starting in Dartford, we're working with Dartford Council to ensure that we are supporting residents in delivering on health apps. So there are things that pop up all the time that we can get stuck into, specifically district related, but most of what we offer is relevant to all the residents across Kent, and mostly in Medway for a lot of our projects and schemes. And I already mentioned hardware access scheme, which is one of our most popular. So we've delivered over, I don't know if we've hit 5,000 now, but we were close to hitting 5,000 laptops. And that is still ongoing and very popular to be referred into. We also have a recycling scheme that came about earlier. So by the end of last year or earlier this year's gone too quick, and that allows people to recycle any unwanted devices they might have, or other electrical items. There is a list on our website of exactly what you are able to recycle. The purpose of this scheme is that you can recycle all those unwanted goods. That all gets turned into credits, and then that gets turned into money that gets put back into digital inclusion projects for the county. So it's a nice cycle. So if you do have stuff laying around, or maybe your office has downsized after COVID and you've got a lot of things that you want to get rid of, that does include collection and everything else. You just need to put the form in and get that arranged. So they're just a couple of the projects to highlight to you. But for this and for ReferKent specifically, as I already said, you can find us under the digital inclusion and skills category on ReferKent. I mentioned our digital support scheme and the fact that we deliver different community sessions and other various individual sessions out in the community. We have had referrals come through this way. So when a referral comes through to us, a member of our operational team will get that referral, and then we'll pass it on to the most appropriate person in the team so that the right support can be given. So do find us on there, and do keep referring people in if you do have individuals that maybe need digital skills and support. And the last thing I'll mention, sorry if I'm going over in time, I can't see the clock. The last thing I'll mention, just because I think it's useful for people to know whilst we're on this call, is that we are offering energy and digital support. So these are online training sessions. We are working with UKPN and SGN to support the Kent residents with digital energy. And obviously with winter coming up, that is an appropriate time, hopefully, for people to learn more about the different types of energy support and grants and schemes that are out there. So we do, on the screen now, you can see our next 4 upcoming workshops that members of our team will be delivering. We are trying to put in place some face-to-face workshops in different locations across the county. We don't have all of those secured in yet, but you can see on the screen there are some of the key areas that these workshops will cover. So general energy support, the grants and schemes available, how to compare energy prices. So it has the digital element to it, but it is more specific to energy. So you can sign up, and it will be an expression of interest form that you sign up to, and then you'll get booked in. And you can do that through our website, or if you go on the website and you're struggling, you can give us a call. A member of the team will help get that sorted. So we are posting about this on our social media, and it is on our website. But I thought it was a useful thing whilst we're in a nice room of people, to mention these energy support sessions that we're trying to get out there to people in our community. So I think that's it from us. Like I said, if you want any digital support and you want to refer somebody in, you can find us on the ReferKent website. So do go through and find us and make that referral, and a member of the team will generally get back within a few days to make sure that we can put the right support in place. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you. It's brilliant. And it's just to tag on to that, feel free. Digital Kent is one of many, so feel free to make a referral to Digital Kent and so many others on ReferKent. You have got a question from Sharon Goodger just asking if how your work links up to the digital project financed by, she says, the Margate Millions. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but she's just asked if it links up with that work.
Good question. So as far as I'm aware, no, we don't directly link up to that, but maybe we should be linking up to it. Unless Doris has more information on that. She's sitting next to me. Do you have more information on that?
Not necessarily more information, but I was just reading, because it's not a project that we've heard of before, but it looks like there's a new technical campus. So it looks like people will be able to go and get digital training for specialised qualifications. Now, whilst we don't have a direct link to this, I think one of the key things about the digital skills sessions that we offer is we try and fill the gaps for those people that aren't at the point where they can go and do something like the specialised qualification that's being offered here, because it looks like they'll do animation and illustration, TV and film production, but all of this is potentially looking at people that already have a level of basic skills, whereas I think for a lot of what we offer is filling in those gaps in between for people that don't need anything so specialised, but just to start at the basics, which I think a lot of these bigger projects tend to work on the assumption that people are already at a level. So hopefully that answers your question, Sharon. But any information, if you do have any information, any links to the project, that would be really great for you to pass it along, because we would definitely be interested to linking up.
Yeah, I think this is the thing. There's always so many things happening across the county that it's hard until you're on a meeting like this, maybe to share what's happening. So, like Doris said, if we're happy to promote, and actually it'd be great for our team to know more about it in detail. So yeah, if you could send across the appropriate information or contact, then we can definitely link up there.
Please and thank you.
I can see Sharon nodding, so I think she'll be sending the information over. You also have one more question, just asking the kind of eligibility for some of the work that you're up to, if there is any specific eligibility.
Yeah, so it does depend on the project. So things like hardware, there's a lot of different eligibilities. So there's about 4 or 5 different categories. So it'd be worth going on our website, and I'll put it on in a second, a link directly to our website, myself or Doris will. So like for hardware, you have to, you can be at any age, but you do need to be in a certain amount of financial hardship, or maybe you've got a disability, or there's a number of factors that can kind of tick a number of boxes. As you can imagine, if we had it open to everybody, the scheme would probably be shut down in a day, because we'd be able to give out every single laptop within a day. So for hardware, there is specific eligibility. We've just recently added a veteran eligibility. So if you are a veteran, or you are in the armed forces, and you have or you have someone in your household that is in the armed forces, that is a new eligibility criteria as an example. But we'll put the link in so that you can see directly who that is, what the eligibility is. That also counts for our connectivity scheme, which, as I said, is not currently running. But when it comes to the skills support, that is open to everybody. You need to be over 18 to do the specific skill support for that one-to-one, purely for all the reasons that you can probably imagine, for safeguarding and everything else. All of our digital champions are DBS checked, but and we can only meet people in public spaces. We do, for some of our schemes, we do have parents that refer children in, especially for things like laptops. That seems to be our most popular, because maybe they need it for their schoolwork, or maybe they're in college and need that additional help and support. But yes, digital skills, that's pretty much open to everybody. We will tailor the support to however you need it. But for some of our other schemes, there is specific eligibility. And Doris has just put our website on the link there, which will take you to all of our different projects and all the specific details around them. If you do ever just want a conversation about one of the projects in particular, then you can just get in touch with us, and a member of the team can give you a call, and we can have an in-depth conversation about it as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Chloe and Doris. I'll quickly hand over to Tracy before we end, and then I'll just give you guys a bit of a last overview of the week as well. So Tracy.
Thanks very much, Sharon. I'm just going to share my screen. Just a second.
All right.
It's on a complete glow slide. So there we go.
It's just coming. There we go. It's come through.
Has it come through? Because it's saying to me reload the screen. Reload. It's not.
Oh.
Is it, can you see it?
I can see it on my screen. I think
I can't see it, so I'm just going to I'll come away and I'll look at my own screen and the presentation, but it's saying that it's unable to load my presentation. So
I can see a couple of nods, but if anyone else can just do a thumbs up, or a nod if everyone else can see it as well.
Yeah,
cool.
See it.
Wonderful stuff.
Perfect. No,
okay.
yeah, we can all see it, Tracy. So
I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to move through it. So please.
You can always reshare if you want, just to like stop and then reshare. That helps.
Okay, let me just have another go.
Yeah, we can still see it.
You can still see it. Okay, I can't. So don't quite know what's happening there, but it's telling me that I need to reload my presentation and something went wrong.
No.
So tell me if you can move. If we can move beyond the first slide. I don't know if that's going to be possible.
Yeah, we can see thumbs up on our end that we can still see it. So if you wanted to see if you can click to the next slide and see if that comes through.
I've done that. Can you see the next slide?
I can see a thumbs up. I can't see anything on my end though.
Okay, let me just chat through things, and what we can do is if we I can share my presentation, and that can always be circulated with the group. So apologies for the technical hitches this morning. So my name's Tracy Veazey. I'm the project manager for the residential work stream in the Financial Hardship Programme, and basically my remit, if you like, is to support people with improving their financial resilience. So that's at the centre of everything that I do as part of the work that I have. So it's so hard when you can't see everything. I do apologise. So
Tracy, we can like on our own end can flick through the screens, but it just might not be in time with what you're saying. That's
cool,
what it is.
Wonderful. Okay, so if you can go through to the slide that says it talks about Household Support Fund 4, then that'll be really, really helpful. So residential. Sorry, go through to the residential slide. Sorry, the green slide.
There you go.
Lovely stuff.
Slide 6 for everyone else looking along.
So I just want to sort of highlight some of the work that we've already done, really, just to give you a flavour of what we've been doing. So I'll just talk through the figures there on the left-hand side. So we work with the Citizens Advice, who deliver the Money Advice hubs on our behalf, and also the Money and Mental Health Schemes project. So what they do there is that, again, it's about the putting the individual at the centre of everything we do. We're looking at improving an individual's income, maximising it as much as possible, and looking at what debt they may have. So particularly with the Money and Mental Health Service, they very much focus on people that have a diagnosed or have a significant mental health issue that gives them challenges with trying to manage their own income. So with people in that particular group, they find it really, really difficult to engage for long periods of time, and so they come in and they drop in and drop out of that service. So that is predominantly led by professional referral, but there is still opportunity for people to self-refer into that scheme. So if there are people within the group that you support that you think would benefit from that, then at the end of the call today, or when I finish chatting, I'll put some links into the chat for you. With the Money and Mental Health, with the Money Advice Hub, that is something that's slightly different. So what we tried to do there is we tried to develop a scheme that would offer access to individuals from the wider community. So when we started a pilot some 2 years ago, we had technology in place at 6 locations across the county, and they're very much a tablet type of device, and people can go along at various different locations, and they were able then to connect in a private environment, in a little room, or in a soundproof kiosk, as we have in Gravesham. And they'll be able to connect to a advisor and talk through their personal circumstances. So and that meant that they would go into a waiting room, and they would speak to a virtual waiting room, and they would speak to an individual about their current circumstances. So they would look at ways to improve their outcomes or improve their income, and also reduce any debt that those individuals may have. So we've grown that scheme from the 6 original advice hubs that we have to 39, and we've been working with lots of different partners to enable us to do that. So the Kent Association of Local Councils, they've also been part of that as well, and we have many new devices now that are located at town and parish councils as well, to enable people to have access. So if there are lunch clubs that are going on, or if there are drop-in sessions or cookery stuff that's going on in local community halls, then that's how people can access some additional debt advice and money advice on a local basis. Within the last 12 months, we also had a debt relief order scheme that was available. So that was, if you also work in that area of support, you will know that previously people had to pay £90 to be able to access debt relief orders. So as of the new financial year, the government decided that they were actually going to fund this as a new requirement, which is amazing news. But for us, we were able to identify that was a barrier for a lot of people to be able to get the support they needed around it. So the project that we ran was able to deliver 66 customers or service users with that additional support. Excuse me. We've recently closed a families Sleep Well Kent project as well, and this was really, really successful. We were able to support 83 families with beds. That was 152 families who received 83 beds. Well, and as you can imagine, the demand outstripped the funds that we had available. We are still working with colleagues across wider scoping, if you like, to look at how we can perhaps deliver an underwritten loan scheme. But as I say, that's very much early days at the moment. And once we have more information about that, then we will share that with our partners. Could you go to the next slide, please, Sharon? And then you can go to the Household Support Fund. So I just want to mention to all of you, as part of the work that I deliver, I also lead on delivery for Household Support Fund. And I imagine many of you will be aware of this government scheme. So The current scheme is actually round 5 and it comes to an end on the 30th of September. And you may or may not have seen that government have recently announced that there will be another round of support available that's going to be for a further 6 months. So at the moment, we don't know what we don't know, simply because we recognise that there has been a lot of talk regarding the reduction in support to pensioners with the winter fuel payments. So there'll be a lot more people perhaps that would not normally get support that may be looking for support this time around. So once we know what the new eligibility criteria will be, that will help us to start scoping and deciding what we'll be able to support this time around. So previously we've provided things like, as you can see in front of you, food holiday vouchers. We've provided one-off energy vouchers, as well as supermarket vouchers as well for non-free school meal eligible households. We've also supported, again, working with our CALC partners, so Kent Association of Local Councils. We've also been able to deliver projects through them to support local communities. And we've been providing different projects to support with longer term energy efficiency solutions as well. So that's around things like carpeting. So thank you. If you'd like to move on to the next slide. Will you go to the next slide, Sharon?
Yeah, is it the Power BI slide or the one before it?
Oh, hang on, it's the Power BI I took out actually, so that doesn't really make sense. So that's fine. That's fine. You can stop there, Sharon. Actually, so all I was going to say to everybody really is at the moment, it's very early days for us to know what the next phase of the Household Support Fund is going to look like. Probably many of you here on the call today will be referrers, or you will be sharing information about the schemes that we offer. So I thank you for doing that. As soon as we have any more information about the next round, we have a Household Support Fund and cost of living page that's available on the kent.gov website, and I'll put the link into the chat for you there. It's just worthwhile noting that these things, although the next round is not due to start until the 1st of October, it is worth noting that that central government can be rather slow in providing us with eligibility criteria and grant determination, which tells us who is the groups of people and what our priority support should actually look like. So, you know, if you wanted to be a referrer, then happy for you to make contact with us, and I'll provide you with those contact details in the chat as well. But essentially, we won't know anything probably until sort of mid-October time. But happy to take any questions if you have anything else that you would like to know anything more about.
Perfect. Phoebe's got a hand up. Phoebe?
Hiya, I'm so sorry. It won't let me type in the chat, so I'm so sorry.
No, you're okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I was just going to ask, is it okay to get like an email or a link just for all of the resources that you guys have gone over today? Because I work for a homelessness charity called Porchlight, and I think you guys have explained everything really, really well. And I think all of these resources are something that not only I, but the other people that I work with could really use as well, especially like the help to money management and the housing benefits, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, sorry, it was just to request like links to everything formally, that's all.
No, thank you. That's absolutely fine. I think everyone who's presented is happy to share any links and things like that. But just note, like I say, we are recording this as well. So if you wanted to ever show the presentations themselves, they'll be uploaded at a later time. So you can also share that link. It'll be on our YouTube page.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that.
No problem at all. Do we have any other questions? Tracy, if you don't mind, I'll share my screen. I'll just show our little agenda for the week as well, just to close us off.
Yep.
Perfect. So yeah, I just thought I'd leave this up. I realise we've gone over a little bit, so apologies, and thank you everyone for who has stayed. But yeah, you can see that our week's quite filled, and like Tracy mentioned, one of the projects that they're working on, the Money Advice Hub, they are presenting on Thursday morning at 11. So if you haven't seen any links or anything like that, please let me know. I'll pop them in the chat. But we have got quite a jam-packed week. We've got IE Hub this afternoon, Pay Plan, we've got Butter UK, Wave Community Bank, really amazing projects and work that's being done throughout Kent and Medway, that as well, some also nationally. So if anyone wants to attend, let me know, and I'll close off here. So thank you all for attending, and hope you all have a lovely rest of the day, and hopefully see you some point this week. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Sharon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Everyone, bye.